I think it's what Duquesne and the community is all about.
Yeah, I think that this event is just a really good way for students to come and see kind of a little preview of what homecoming week is going to have. Everyone likes free food.
The kickoff breakfast and homecoming court voting set the tone for a week full of events. This is Tyler Moyer signing out from the Voice of Duquesne Live.
This Tuesday, Duquesne hosted Tailgates, Tastes, and Tosses from 3 to 5 p.m. on the Academic Walk. The event was part of Homecoming and Family Weekend and featured food, cornhole, and giveaways such as a Duquesne-themed cornhole set. The event was co-hosted by the Center for Student Involvement and the Future Alumni Association. Students who went to this event were not only able to get free food, but were able to meet the homecoming nominees. Voting for homecoming court is open, so make sure to cast your ballots.
Hi, we're here at Tailgate Tosses. It is a super fun event that we're doing to get everybody really excited for homecoming. They have the opportunity to win a Duquesne branded cornhole board, which is like super cool. But yeah, we're just out here on A-Walk giving out some free food, celebrating our awesome homecoming nominees. So definitely go vote if you haven't done that. And yeah, we're trying to brave this gnarly weather, but we have Duquesne spirit.
If you miss these events, don't worry. There are still homecoming events yet to come. There's s'mores today at 7 p.m. and tomorrow there's a block party on A-Walk at 3 p.m. and fireworks on McCloskey Field at 9:30 p.m. See Campus Link for more information. Back to you guys.
I'm Morgan Carr, and I'm about to go check out the Make Your Mark on Homecoming campaign right on the Unico Pavilion with Dr. Leanna Fennenberg and Student Life. Let's go check it out. Yesterday, Student Life and Future Alumni Association joined together to celebrate the start of homecoming with a pop-up shop. This spirit pop-up was all about creating Duquesneable styles that you can show off this weekend or any time of the year. Students stopped by the Unico Family Pavilion from about 12 to 2 to see what all the fuss was about.
We were on our way back to Assumption and we saw something was going on, so we stopped to see what it was.
Yeah, I saw on social media they were giving out free shirts, so I saw all the shirts and I had to come get some.
The pop-up included Duquesne shirts ready to be cut, tied, bedazzled, and so much more. There were baseball caps ready to be spray painted, whatever design you cooked up. It's no secret that this is only one of the many fun events to come from this weekend. Senior Chrissy Bobert shared what she couldn't wait for.
I'm most looking forward to seeing all the alumni and past faculty and just members of the Duquesne community come back. It is always, Duquesne is just one big family and one big community, and it's very warm and welcoming, and I feel like that is most evident during homecoming weekend.
Chrissy and the rest of the homecoming court was stable at all events, always ready to represent Duquesne.
I'm very excited when I heard I got on the court. I'm involved in a lot of clubs on campus, so that just means a lot that I get to be a part of another aspect of community here.
With so much Duquesne pride, the Make Your Mark on Homecoming event was a huge success. This was yet another successful homecoming event to get the week going, so make sure you check out more events throughout the week. I'm Morgan Carr, and this is the Voice of Duquesne Live.
On Wednesday, students, staff, and student organizations gathered to paint the Bluff to prepare for homecoming and family weekend. Participants were invited to enjoy Milano's pizza and refreshments while they decorated yard signs and golf carts that will be used throughout the weekend.
I had so much fun today at our homecoming event where people were decorating golf carts and honestly just enjoying other people's time. It was so nice, and I can't wait to see everyone's hard work pay off around campus this weekend and for all of our parents to see it.
Student Life and the Future Alumni Association hosted this event yesterday under the Unico Family Pavilion to help prepare for this weekend. Come check out the yard signs and golf carts around campus throughout homecoming weekend to see all the designs. This is Betsy Bodwin with the Voice of Duquesne Live signing off.
Thank you. Make sure to vote for Homecoming Court. Voting is open to all students until 11:59 p.m. tonight on the Homecoming Campus Link page, or the link can be found in your Duquesne email. Homecoming events will continue through Saturday. You won't want to miss it.
Now in sports. On Thursday night, the team faced off with VCU and won in a dominant fashion. The trio of Maya Matesa, Brianna Moore, and Mackenzie Muir led the way in this one, each scoring a goal in the 3-to-1 rout of the Rams. In the 20th minute, Matesa found fellow senior Muir in the box, who deposited the ball into the top left corner to give the Dukes a 1-0 lead. Duquesne held this lead until the second half when senior Reese Kirshner sent a perfect cross into Brianna Moore, who chipped it over the goalie for Duquesne's second goal of the contest. As the game was coming to an end, Matessa, the nation's leader in goals, got the ball alone in the box and promptly scored her 12th goal of the season, giving the Dukes a 3-0 win. It was the 6th clean sheet of the season for junior goalie Allie Hughes, who has been a big part of Duquesne's success this season. Not only was this a statement win for the Dukes, but they set multiple records in the process. Matessa and Moore combined for 5 points in the game, giving the two a combined 103 career points. By doing so, they became the second duo to achieve this in program history. Moore's goal this game was also the 20th in her career, making her just the 5th student athlete in Duquesne history to reach this milestone. After such a thrilling game, there was little time to rest for the Dukes as they prepared to face off with George Mason. The two teams entered last Sunday's contest and tied for second place in the 8-10 standings. This was also senior day for Duquesne as they honored their 11 seniors before the game. This year's senior class has had one of the best 4 years in the program history, with its member holding most of the Duquesne's women's soccer records. The Dukes got things going early in this one when Caitlin Killinger made a great move on her defender to find space in the box before sending a rocket into the back of the net for the eventual game-winning goal. Allie Hughes collected her 3rd shutout of the season in this one, and the Duquesne backline continued to dominate the opponents. Following the back-to-back shutouts, Hughes was named the Atlantic 10 Defensive Player of the Week. With this recognition, she is the 3rd Duke to earn the 8-10 honors this season. In other women's soccer news, Matessa was named the 2025 Hermann Trophy mid-season watch list. She joins 35 other student athletes across the country to be selected. Up next to the Dukes is a trip to St. Louis, where they will battle for the first-place Billikens on Sunday at 2 p.m.
Last night, Duquesne dropped a tough game against the 2-win Rhode Island Rams 3-0. Unforced errors were the story in this one as the Dukes allowed the first 2 goals of the game via penalty kick. In the 33rd minute, Duquesne goalie Diego Chavez came out of the net in an attempt to stop the ball, but instead tackled the Rams forward, creating a penalty kick opportunity. Chavez guessed right on the kick, but just couldn't get there in time, and Rhode Island took a 1-0 lead. In the 56th minute, the Rams would be awarded another penalty kick after a handball on the Dukes. Striker Tiago Bergina would take full advantage for Rhode Island, collecting his 2nd goal of the game. No more than a minute later, it was another defensive lapse for the Dukes as they allowed Sinan Brunning to run unmarked down the middle of the box for Rhode Island's 3rd goal. Next up for Duquesne is a Saturday evening matchup at Fordham.
This past weekend, the Duquesne's men and women's tennis team completed the Atlantic 10 Masters in Davidson, North Carolina. It wasn't a very strong showing as the two teams only collected 1 win each. The lone singles win came when Duquesne's Mila Bodix competed Francesca Gomez-Wez of St. Louis 7-5 in the first set and 6-2 in the second one. Duquesne also managed to pick up 1 doubles win as Austin Lai and Gianluca Cittadini defeated Andreas Castellanos and Alejandro Ochia from St. Louis 8-1. Next up for the Dukes, the women's tennis team will travel to Ohio for the Cleveland State Invitational from Friday, October 10th to Sunday, October 12th. The men's team will compete in the same invitational 2 weeks later. Duquesne opened an NCE play with a lopsided 34-14 win over Stonehill on Saturday at Rooney Field. The Dukes held Stonehill scoreless through 3 quarters, building a 27-0 lead on their way to victory behind 426 yards of offense. After a scoreless first quarter, Duquesne broke it open with 3 consecutive touchdown drives. Quarterback Tyler Riddell completed 19 of 31 passes for 239 yards and 3 touchdowns, reaching 9,000 career passing yards. Joey Isabella added a receiving touchdown, eclipsing 2,000 receiving yards in the first quarter, finishing with 8 catches for 54 yards and a touchdown. Ryan Petras had 2 receiving touchdowns and led the receivers with 82 yards on 3 catches. Duquesne led 20-0 at half and cruised to victory, despite 2 Stonehill touchdowns in the final quarter. The Dukes have won 6 of their 7 and will return Saturday at 1 p.m. to host St. Francis for the homecoming game.
This past weekend, Duquesne Volleyball hosted George Mason for back-to-back matches on Friday and Saturday. The Patriots came to the Cooper Fieldhouse and successfully took both matches from the Dukes. It was a 5-set thriller in Friday's match. George Mason won the first 2 sets. With the game on the line, Duquesne came back to win the next 2 sets, tying the score at 4-4. In an exciting 5th set, it was the Patriots who would win by a tally of 15-11. For the Dukes, Emerson Schramm notched her 9th double-double of the season. with 20 kills and 13 digs, including 7 kills in the decisive 5th set. It was the 5th match this season where Schramm collected 20 kills. Following the loss, the two teams met at the Cooper Fieldhouse the next day. Once again, it was George Mason who would come out victorious. The Patriots claimed the first set, but the Dukes responded, winning the second. Unfortunately, Duquesne couldn't carry the momentum as they would lose the next 2 sets, eventually falling to the Patriots 3-1. Freshman Carly Jordan led the way in this one for the Dukes with 14 kills, tying her career high to go along with a .414 hitting percentage. Next up for Duquesne is a weekend set in Illinois when they face Loyola Chicago.
The Duquesne men's cross-country team raced last Friday at Lehigh University, where the athletes joined more than 1,000 others at one of the nation's largest meets. The men placed 10th in the Brown race and 64th overall. Sophomore Ben Shields led the way with 16th place Brown finish, securing a personal best of 24 minutes and 51 seconds to place 186th overall. Senior Nathaniel Washner followed in 47th, with sophomore Anthony Saruski, freshman Liam Kirkpatrick, and senior Sam De La Riva finishing out the scoring 5. 8 of the Dukes finishers placed in the top half of the overall field.
The Duquesne women's cross-country team raced at the 51st annual Paul Short Run Friday at Lehigh University. On the women's side, freshman Sylvia Kashik paced the Dukes with a 77th place Brown finish in 22 minutes and 30.3 seconds in the 6K. Duquesne placed 20th in the division and 77th overall, with Kate Somm, Sophia Trevening, Kendall Lucas, and Ava Brewster completing the scoring. All 5 of the Dukes scorers finished in the top half of the race.
With the Duquesne women's and swimming diving teams set to begin on October 11th, the A10 coaches participated in a preseason poll. The Dukes accumulated 83 points in the poll with 1 first-place vote. George Washington was selected as the preseason favorite with 7 first-place tallies and 97 total points. Richmond had 2 first-place votes and 83 points, while Duquesne, Davidson, and Fordham rounded out the top 5. Duquesne is led by longtime head coach David Sheets, who will enter his 25th season at the helm in 2025 and 2026. A 3-time Atlantic 10 Coach of the Year, Sheets had guided the Dukes to success, highlighted by back-to-back A10 championships, a runner-up finish, and a 3rd-place showing this past season. Entering the 2025-2026 campaign, the Dukes returned 16 student athletes, bolstered by 8 incoming freshmen and 1 transfer. Their schedule features 12 regular season events, including 2 home meets at the Towers Pool. The Dukes open the year with a split squad weekend on Saturday, as the swimmers head to the pit relays and the divers compete at Clarion Dive and Fall Classic. Now let's head over to Morgan Carr with this week's weather.
Thanks, guys. Now let's get right into the weather here in Pittsburgh. So we got a big temperature change with that fall weather finally coming through. We're starting out. We got Friday, sunny, right in time for homecoming. We got that high of 66, that low of 42, so you might want to find your jackets. We're moving into Saturday, continuing that sun. We got that high of 68, that low of 43. Continuing on, we are going to see some showers on Sunday with a 55% chance of rain, that high of 63, and that low of 50. Monday is going to continue that with that 45% chance. We got 61% high and the 48-degree low. Moving into Tuesday, we're going to see some sun in that clouds with the high 65 and a low of 48. We're finally going to see the sun again Wednesday, high 67, low of 49. Thursday, again, that partly cloudy, high of 60, low of 47 in Pittsburgh. All right, now right in Rome, we're seeing a big temperature change, a little bit less on the heat. So we're starting with that Friday, that partly sunny, partly cloudy, that high of 77, that low of 56. Sunday, bright sunny skies, that high of 78, that low of 52. So a jacket might be something you want to find wherever you can find it. And then in Sunday, we're keeping that sun, high of 77, low of 51. Again, find your jackets if you even brought them. And then Monday, sun again, high of 76, low of 51. Rain is finally coming to Rome with that 65% chance on Tuesday, high of 72, low of 53. Continuing with that 60% chance on Wednesday, high of 67, low of 51. And we're moving right into that 50% for Thursday, that 67 high and that 53 low here in Rome. Now Dublin's getting another weather change, a lot less rain, but those cold temps are still very present. So we got cloudy skies for days with the Friday, high of 60, low of 48. Saturday, that 59 high, that 45 low. Continuing into Sunday with that 60 high and that 47 low. Again, lots of chill going on here. Monday's got that 59 high and that 49 low, continuing right into Tuesday, 58 high and that 48 low. Now we're going to see some sun Wednesday and Thursday with that 61 high and that 49 low. And last but not least, that 58 high for Thursday with that 49, 48 low. So lots of weather changes in all campuses at Duquesne. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Morgan. Last Thursday, Duquesne's Outdoor Club partnered with First Descent Rock Climbing to host FA's College Night. Students who went to FA's Station Square location from 6 to 7 p.m. were able to get discounted tickets marked down from $19 to $12. Despite many people going to the event and not being involved with the Outdoor Club, the event was well attended and enjoyed by students who went there. Student Andrew Sizell said he was impressed by not only the discount, but the quality of FA's facility. If you do like First Descent's facility enough to want to go back, FA offers student discounts on their membership all throughout the year.
The 2025 Community Engagement Fair happened this week on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 11 to 2 p.m. It was hosted by the Center for Community Engaged Teaching and Research and the Duquesne University volunteers in the student atrium. The annual fair brings in community partners to give students the opportunity to stop by and introduce themselves to businesses for the purpose of internships, federal work study, and service opportunities. Each day, different partners visited, giving the students the opportunity to create a wide variety of connections. Students who attended also had the opportunity to be entered in a giveaway. Our Betsy Bowden sat down with the McAnulty College and Graduate School of Liberal Arts Dean, Dr. Christine Blair, to look behind the curtain into her life outside of Duquesne. Let's hear what she had to say.
Hello, I'm Betsy Bodwin with the Voice of Duquesne Live. Here with me today, I have the Dean of the McAnulty College of Liberal Arts, Dr. Christine Blair. Thank you so much for being here today with me.
Oh, thank you for the invitation. I'm delighted to speak with you.
Awesome. You center lots of your research and outreach around women and the lack of space for them in technology and technological innovations. Why is that so important to you?
Well, you know, I have been teaching, or I started my teaching career about 40 years ago, and that coincided with the advent of the personal computer in the early 80s. So I spent a lot of my early career as an educator, teaching people writing and literacy, because I'm a professor of English, in digital environments where they were working on their essays in computer labs, though very rudimentary at the time. And as I continued that work, I just noticed that students over time had a lot of challenges adapting to what was at the time a new literacy. And so as part of the entire field of writing studies, adoption of technology, we started to use different types of tools to have students reflect on their comfort and attitudes about technology. And so one of the tools I used was something I refer to as a literacy narrative. And so I would ask students to think about their comfort level with technology. When did they first learn to use a computer? Did they use one in school when they were younger? Did they have access to computers at home? And as I started, collecting those stories, one of the things I noticed that there were some differences along gender lines. Sometimes there was a lot of fear and apprehension about technology. If you do something, you're going to break it. Why did my screen disappear? And so sometimes there would be responses like, well, I'm just not good at computers. Computers don't like me. And so as I started to explore that, one of the things that I did with a number of my colleagues, including students, was that we started having computer camps for different populations. So one population I did a lot of work with was adolescent girls, so that they would get oriented to not just the technology, but also the careers that were associated with that technology. So at the time, I was doing work with the American Association of University Women, who did a lot of research that showed that while young children and students sort of go into it with sort of the same interest and aptitude and attitudes about technology, around adolescence there's sort of a bifurcation as girls and boys are socialized in different ways, and some of that leads to how students choose majors, how students choose careers. And what I was trying to do in my work was level the playing field. So we did workshops and camps for girls, early teens, and we, focused on seeing that they could create, that they could make meaning, that they could be literate, not just through words on the screen, but images, audio, video. So it was really exciting to see them compose in that way. And then we had showcase sessions for their family to come and see, look, your daughter can do this, and it may be that she might be like one of our guest speakers and go on to a career in graphic design or go on to a career in computer science. So that's a little bit about how I got started.
Okay. So you served as editor of both the international print journal Computers and Composition and its separate companion journal Computers and Composition Online until December 2024. Why did you continue to do it on top of all your other commitments?
Well, it was sort of the same thing. Computers and Composition Online was the companion journal of the international peer-reviewed journal, Computers and Composition, obviously given the name. And what I was trying to do there was really give faculty, graduate students, an opportunity to use digital tools, again, things like web design, certain types of tools like Photoshop, different types of web authoring tools, HTML, XML, at the time Flash, to compose, to make meaning, and to create scholarship in those types of venues. And then with the print journal, to really theorize what it means to engage in those types of literate practices, both inside and outside the classroom. So I just stepped down in 2024, as you noted, and I think it's important to pass those opportunities along. But what I enjoyed so much about it was that I felt like both online and in print, I was shaping the discipline of writing studies, and specifically computers and writing studies, which is in fact a subdiscipline of the field of rhetoric and composition, where I took my advanced degrees.
Okay. Your life in academics and research has revolved around fields within liberal arts. What do you say to those who have a negative view on liberal arts in general?
Well, it's funny that people would say that, because historically almost everything is a liberal arts. Originally there were about 7 of them, and they had some subcategories, but even, mathematics is technically a liberal arts, even though now it's in a different school from the McAnulty College. I think there might be some stereotypes that exist about the types of jobs that students might get, but even that's a bit of a, misunderstanding, because I think that what the liberal arts does is that it provides students with essential skills and dispositions. So everyone who wants someone who can think critically. Every employer wants someone who can problem solve, work in a team, lead, manage, make ethical decisions, and maintain that sense of professionalism. Well, a lot of those skills, originate in the liberal arts through writing, through speaking, through leadership, through ethics. And so when people sort of make that sort of assumption about what liberal arts students can do, I often just smile, because if you look at the data, there's lots that show that even our own students here at Duquesne, they take those skills and they go to work in business and industry. Depending on their major in the college, they go to work for some of our athletic teams in the city, and it's almost as if the city of Pittsburgh is truly our classroom for our students, and they get tons of opportunities, just in the way you are here, to apply those skills and dispositions to real world jobs. So I think that what we have to do in the liberal arts is help people understand that what the types of training we provide balance the academic with that sense of career readiness.
What do you want people to know about you outside of your position here at Duquesne?
Let's see. I love to travel. I love to travel abroad. I tend to sort of focus more on outdoorsy type travels. So I went to Iceland a few years ago, and that was really exciting and beautiful. My husband and I, we are a city of bridges and rivers. So my husband and I own a boat, and we take it out, and we're down near the point, or trying to catch a fly ball at a Cubs game, or a Pirates game. I'm a Cubs fan. Maybe we can edit that out. But at any rate, so just I like to be active away from the desk. That consumes so much a part of my work life that I really like my playtime, if you will, my downtime to be outside. My husband keeps bees, so I help with that. And so I want to balance work and life as much as I can in a busy job like this one. And being outdoors and just relaxing and traveling is my favorite thing to do when I have the opportunity.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you so much, Dr. Blair, for joining us today. This is Betsy Bodwin with the Voice of Duquesne Live. Back to you.
Thank you, Betsy. Duquesne is holding a turkey drive from now until November 21st. This turkey drive has been going on for 20 years and has helped feed over 4,000 families. Duquesne does this by partnering with 15 different charity organizations around western Pennsylvania to deliver turkeys to disadvantaged families who may not have one to eat at Thanksgiving. It's just $30 to support a family, and the student organization who donates the most money will win $200. For more information, visit room 302 in the Student Union or call 412-396-1117.
Let's take a look behind the door of the food pantry located in the 3rd floor of College Hall. I take a deep dive with this story to highlight what they have to offer. My name is Madeline Groman, and today we're at the McContley Community Food Pantry located on the 3rd floor of College Hall to learn more about who they are and what they do. The McNaughtley College Food Pantry has been a lifeline for students, faculty, and staff since it opened in 2023. Here, members of the Duquesne community can access fresh produce, dairy, meats, and pantry samples, all at no cost. The pantry partners with the Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank, which ensures regular deliveries of nutritious food. These deliveries arrive on the first Thursday of each month, with extra shipments during high-demand periods, making sure no one on campus goes hungry. What makes this pantry unique is it's run primarily by students through the Migration Club at McContley College. Under the faculty guidance, the club not only manages the pantry, but also organizes food drives, fundraising events, and educational programs like cooking classes to help students make the most of the resources available. Faculty and staff are also deeply involved. Their support, through both time and donations, strengthen the pantry's mission to ensure that everyone in the Duquesne community has access to healthy food. I met with the president of the Migration Club, Sao Mai Nguyen, and asked how the pantry affects the Duquesne community.
The McNulty College Community Food Pantry is open to everyone, students, staff, and faculty. We really have noticed a lot of students come in shy, afraid to face the stigma surrounding food insecurity, but after they do an easy sign-in process and they go in and they get the things they need, you just see their eyes light up, and it's really nice and fulfilling to be able to see that, people can come in with friends, people can come in during quiet hours, and so we really meet people where they are, and I just find it a very fulfilling volunteer experience.
We also asked about other resources for Duquesne students around campus. She said,
So the McNulty College Community Food Pantry is actually one of many pantries on campus. One of the most prominent ones on campus that is open to all students is Brother Keating's Initiative, which is located on the 1st floor of Union, and you can get involved with them by going into the Center for Student Involvement, and they'll connect you with the right people to get in touch with that. There's also the mini food pantry in the nursing school, and there's the Rango's Food Pantry. These food pantries are operated and facilitated by the faculty of those schools, and they're more directly for the students of the health science schools and nursing schools. But they'll get you in touch with scholarships and other opportunities as well. So it's really great to get in touch with these pantry opportunities, either as a volunteer or if you need anything.
The pantry also hosts campus-wide food drives and has plenty of volunteer opportunities to help raise awareness about food insecurity and provide ways for students and staff to contribute. To donate directly, you can give funds to the pantry to help restock the inventory through their pantry donation platform on their website and Instagram. There is also donation boxes throughout McContley College and other campus locations where you can drop off the donated goods. Check out their website or Instagram and fill out the pantry volunteer form, and they will reach out to you with opportunities. Be sure to check out the Migration Club Instagram for more. This is Madeline Groman signing out from the Voice of Duquesne Live. Now, here's this week's academic roundup from Provost Dowsey's Academic Insights. Join CETR on October 30th at noon for an informal virtual discussion about the CETR-supported Wilds Community Partnership Camera Trapping Program, a network of middle and high schools working together to monitor the wildlife in our region. This journal club session will be led by Dr. Jan Janeka and PhD candidate Joshua Robinson. The second Faculty Senate Assembly meeting for the academic year will be held on October 14th from 1 to 3 p.m. on the 5th floor of the Gumberg Library. All faculty are welcome to attend.
Next week, Provost David Dawsey and CFO Matthew Frist will host meetings for faculty and staff on the macro trends impacting the higher education sector and the current status of the university. The presentations will include an analysis of financial and enrollment trends, areas for opportunity, and challenges for the future. Faculty and staff are invited to register and submit their questions or feedback for the Q&A portion of the meeting. The meetings will be held in the Power Center Ballroom. The faculty meeting will be Monday, October 13th at 3 p.m., and the staff meeting will be Thursday, October 16th, also at 3 p.m. I'm Kylie Crocus.
And I'm Madeline Gromand, and this is the Voice of Duquesne Live.
Hope to see you next Thursday.